I am glad to be here, Andy. It's just a real privilege, and to have known you all this time, and looking forward to what's yet to come.
Help your camera person step back a half a foot. You got no eyes.
For this one.
There you go. Better. Thanks. Yeah.
This is my good side too.
I just want to interrupt to say that Jesus and I were thinking about doing a Lucy and Desi skit for you, but we couldn't agree on the plot. It never got written, so.
And I couldn't get a bongo. I mean a conga drum. So.
Oh, there's one here.
Yeah, I know. But Andy and I, probably one of the happiest days of my life was when Andy and I and our friend Bernie went to Yankee Stadium, and I took Nicholas with us. And the one thing that I remember, that's my son who's 3. The one thing that I remember about that day was my cheeks were hurting. And from just smiling and laughing all day. I'd never been to Monument Park, and we just did the whole thing, and it was just lovely. So we share a love of baseball, and obviously of Suns. And I was thinking about what to read, and I have this book that I've been working on that I haven't been able to go back to for like 2 or 3 years, because some of the stuff is just really difficult. But the book deals with a period of my life, which is about 10 years when I was still drinking, and when I got sober. So it's roughly from whatever. Anyway, so that's what it deals with. But there's a scene there that talks about friendship and about baseball. So I thought it would be appropriate, and I'll try to read it without sort of breaking down. And I read somewhere that no tears in the writer, there's no tears in the reader. So it's something that really gets to me. And when I was reading it today, I told Anita, I said, I don't know that I can get through it. But it's not, it's not like I'm not going to make you guys cry or anything. It's not that bad. It's just stuff that it's sort of at the core for me. All right. So anyway, this guy is he's just had this. He's been drinking, and he's in this dark place. And seeing the working title is From Mountain Road to Easy Street, which is I used to live on Mountain Road when I got sober in Union City, and then I built this house on Easy Street in North Bergen. So there's that kind of period, going from one place to the other. I then moved to Bellevue Ave, so that sort of tells you. So this is Dark Corridor, dreaming of Paco and baseball, and Paco is his kid's best friend. I saw myself inside a corridor that was filled with darkness. Feeling my way around, I could tell that pictures were hanging from the walls, but I couldn't see what they depicted. Touching everything around, I concluded that there was a door on either side of the space, and a set of stairs towards the end with steps that went up. I felt the wall searching for a light switch, but there was none, or I couldn't find it. I tried getting out, but I could not find the door where I had entered. A woman was singing along with a Serrat song. This is a Spaniard playing on the other side of the wall. I heard the melody, but I could not make out the words. I made an attempt to open either one of the doors, but they were locked. I sat on the second step to think about a way out of my confinement, and while I sat searching for an exit, I felt a desire to call out for help. I yelled, but it was as if the sound of my voice was absorbed by the darkness that surrounded me, and nothing escaped. The louder I yelled, the bigger the silence that followed. I walked around in the quiet blackness and pounded my fist on one door and then the other, and no one answered. I knew that I had not died because I could still feel my body. I sat on the middle of the floor and I cried, and in the middle of the crying I prayed to be rescued. And the words of my prayer were not muffled like my screaming, but they made a sound and they reverberated in the darkness. And even though I was still sitting in darkness in this unidentified place, I felt a small degree of comfort. And as I sat, a song came to my lips, a spiritual I had sung at church when I was a child. And I sang in the church choir, back when I believed that my voice could reach and gladden God. And as I sang, I could hear that the melody was not swallowed by the darkness, and I began to feel sleepy, as if I was lulling myself to sleep, and before the second verse, I closed my eyes and I dreamt of baseball. I was walking on the road that leads out of my hometown, San Pedro, where I was born and wished to die, with a group of my friends, my teammates, towards El Corojo, to meet Paco Beltran and his team for a game. We brought a catcher's mask and padding so that we could play hardball. We carried our gloves, a couple of bats, and some regulation-type baseballs that had disappeared earlier in the day from the school equipment locker. On the way, we told stories. There's a big curse word here, but so I'm glad there's not a young person that's been to our festivities before, because when I read that, I thought, oh, I can't say that, but I will say it, and I hope